guys, so this is the driver's side, and on the driver's side it has 3 holes, 2 on this side over here and 1 on this side, only 3. So don't try to drill extra holes. There's 1 up top, but it's not usable, it's not meant to be used. All right, so there's 1 up top and they leave it there for a reason. It's not meant to be used. If you want, you can fill this top hole right up here, but it's not meant to be filled. It's these 2 down at the bottom, and you just want to make sure it's flush when you're putting it in and all that. Because the top one is what really hold it. The 2 top piece up here is what really holds it into place. You know, they just use these little down here as a support that the bottom doesn't rock back and forth. And after you fill these holes here, guys, after you fill these holes on the driver's side and on the passenger side, you still have to go back inside the vehicle itself and go up underneath here, and you have to catch the 2 edges. You have to catch the 2 edges up here from underneath, because I had to cut those 2 also, because there's a tack. The bottom part in the interior part, the tack left and right on both sides, just two sides. They use the liquid glue. So I'm just gonna drill these holes again in, guys. Use liquid glue to glue this in, and they do that for a reason, so you can get it out. And like I said, it's an interchangeable part, so they make it with the liquid glue. And right now it's kind of telling me that this thing is up a little bit too much. I have 2 that came out easy here, and there we go, guys. And now it's telling me that I need to go down a little bit more and go over. So I'm gonna release my jack just a fraction, so my jack take too much of the tension off here. Not too much, but enough to take the tension off, and I can knock this thing back down and get it into place. Okay, I'm just gonna release my jack all the way down, and I'm gonna jack this side up, and I'm gonna take the pressure off that side. I'm just gonna move my jack over a little bit to this side and get most of the tension on this side here, guys. Because one side is up too much and one side is down too much. So, because once I use the vice grip to hold it, it's gonna it will not move. You see, it came down, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Because the way they make the bottom of this, they make the radiator support the exact same cutout as the bottom of this. So, and they use that as a guide. You have the middle piece right here. That's where I want to get the top to be glued, because once I get the top to be glued, I can use the vice grip to hold the bottom, that the bottom does not move. Because right now it's moving on me, and I'm gonna release this bolt a little bit more, guys. I'm gonna release this. Let me get this thing out the way. This thing is causing a havoc. So when you put in this radiator support back in, guys, you want to watch not just the top, but you want to watch the bottom, because the bottom is what lets you know where you are and where you needs to be. Right there. Okay, so now that I got that lined up, guys, on both sides, I can go ahead and start mixing my glue and start catching the top. I'm gonna bring this bolt down a little bit more because I don't want no pressure at all on it. I want, when I put it into place, it stays right there, because once you put the liquid glue in it, wherever you put the liquid glue, that's where it's gonna dry and it's gonna sit. Alright guys, so now that I have it lined up and everything, I release the middle bolts here so the driver side can go down. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna catch the passenger side first, and once I catch the passenger side and it's dry, then I can release the jack, because I'm using the jack for the passenger side support. It's also putting force on the driver's side, and because I have these bolts bolted and the middle subframe is coming out, what it's doing is that is once I put force, let me show you guys right here what I'm talking about. I put force on this side to bring it up. It's also forcing the driver's side up. So I want to catch this side first. In here I want to catch this side and let it glue. Even if I catch the top, I want to catch the top and catch the sides, because this is in the perfect position where it needs to be. So if I can catch this side, top and bottom, then I can release it, and once I release it, this side over here and the driver's side will come down. Alright guys, so you know, whatever works for you. The plastic piece that I use that comes with it, I threw it away a long time ago, the first time I used it, and before I changed my exhaust pipe. My exhaust pipe had a leak in it, and I used this bad boy, man, and it stopped that leak, and I didn't even have to change my exhaust pipe because it stopped it permanently. But I just used this, and what you want to do is just force this thing down in here. As you know, you don't want to make too much, you don't want to make it go down too far, because they make it that you can you can cut it off from the top, and I should be using a bigger screwdriver to get more up, because I want to use this thing up real fast, because like I said guys, once you don't put it on the application, this thing dry really fast. It's a liquid glue guys, and it dry really fast, and I just want to do it real quick, catch this area real quick, because once you catch this area, it's not going to move again. But I put enough in it that it can go down to certain dimension and sits right there, and you don't want to put it down too far, because like I said, if something happen and you have to cut this baby off, you don't want to have to cut too far down and mess up your radiator support. But you just want to get enough down in here that you know, you don't want to put it too, you don't want to put too much of a thin application, but you don't want to put too much of a thick application either. So, and then I'm gonna come around here, and I'm gonna catch this part right here. And what I'm gonna do, because this little screwdriver is not working for me, it's not doing the job that I want it to do, so I'm gonna go grab the bigger one, and I'm just gonna use this and do the quick application here, because like I said, this thing dries and sets really fast, guys. It dries fast and it sets fast, and you don't want to catch this, you don't want to catch the whole of it either. You just want to catch the sides just the way you cut it off, because next time you're going to put this thing on, it's gonna be hard to come off. So you just want to catch the little sides that it was originally made to be go on, and clean it up and stuff like that. Before I clean it up, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna knock it back together like that. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my hammer, and I'm just gonna knock it back as far as on here as possible. And like I said, you can use it, whatever works for you. You can use a screwdriver to knock the end back. And it did shift again on me, but that's not really a big issue, because I can always reset it. I just want to knock it back so it sits all the way back, and you know, you clean up these links, because you're gonna have to you're gonna want to use it again. I'm just gonna grab my rag and just gonna clean up my area real quick. Just gonna clean it up a little bit so it doesn't sit all the way on it. Clean that up. I'm just gonna dry it off, and what I did, I used some diesel fuel so as to get it cleaned up, because when I'm done, I would like to see it looking all nice, and there's no muck and all that stuff around it. And yeah, and what I did, guys, I knock it back on the groove, and I can let it sit there for a little bit, and I can come back and I can knock it some more. But right now it's sitting perfectly where it needs to fit. All I have to do is just go back and make sure that it's positioned and it's centered where it needs to center, because you can't just watch one side, you have to watch both sides. And you have to make sure it's center, because when you put the liquid glue on the outside, it should be catching this whole bottom part metal. So that's sitting perfectly where it needs to sit now, guys, and I can let that stay for the whole day, for the rest of the day, and I don't have to come back here and do anything. Because once I come back here, before I let this dry, if I come back here and I touch the driver's side, this is going to move again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start filling these holes. Okay, so right up underneath here, guys, I can see my metals and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my channel lock and I'm just going to squeeze it in like that, and I'm still gonna have enough room to work with. I'm still gonna have enough room inside here to work with, but because there's a large gap underneath here, after you fill these holes, you want to open it and fill these holes to make sure that the liquid glue goes around these holes. And you're gonna use like a vice grip, and you're just gonna catch the edge of it, and you're just gonna vice grip it, and it locks like that, and you let that stay for the night or for the day or whatever. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more mixture, and I'm gonna catch all of these holes. And like I said, when you're mixing, you're only mixing your solution, you want to make sure it comes out even, and that's why it comes with a little push that you push from the bottom, and it pushes the liquid out evenly. So I'm just gonna mix this again, and I'm gonna catch my holes. And you want to make sure you mix it out properly, because if you don't mix them evenly and mix them properly, it will not bond the proper way. So I'm just going to take this up on here. Guys, and I'm just going to start filling my holes in. And I do the top, might as well I just do the bottom and get it over with. And it's not meant to go all over. This thing here is just meant to fill the holes in. And this is the gateway to take it off the next time you're taking it off. And once you fill these holes, because it's a liquid glue, it's gonna start running and go into the places where it needs to go. And you don't want to catch nothing but just the holes, guys. You don't want to catch nothing else, just the holes. Just fill back the holes just the way it came factory. You do it back just the same way, that when you're taking it off, it's not a problem to get it off. You see what I did? I just mixed just enough, guys. I mixed just enough to get the holes filled. And like I said, it's a liquid glue, so once you start filling the hole, it's gonna start running down to the little areas where it needs to go. Top here, because I don't want to waste this thing, guys. This thing is very, very, very expensive. It's not a cheap product. It's not a cheap product, guys. It's very, very expensive, believe me. And to protect O'Reilly, I won't really tell you the price of what they charge me for this thing, but O'Reilly was the only place I could get this commercial one at the time, and I even went to Napa, and Napa had some, but it was just the little homemade house ones. It wasn't the commercial ones, and I would expect it to get it from Napa, but I didn't get it from Napa. I actually got it from O'Reilly. Big up yourself, O'Reilly. You know, whatever parts you need and you can't get it at AutoZone, you check them boys over by O'Reilly, man, and them guys will have it, and they give it to you at a reasonable price, and they will ship it also. This little edge right here, but we just need to knock in a little bit more, but it's so close. This part right here is so close to my my serpentine belt that I don't want to knock it too hard, but you have to catch the edges and knock the edges back in. That's the whole purpose, really. And whilst you're doing that, you just make sure you come underneath here and make sure it didn't shift. And it's right there where it needs to be, guys. And all you have to do is just clean up your area just like that. Once you do that, you know, and you make sure this little hole right here, does not get any, because this is where you're going to put your bolt back in. And what I'd like to do is just kind of put my bolt in. A little bit catches it just now, and if you don't do that from now, when this thing is dry, you're going to have to drill that hole. And what I did, I'm not using water to clean this, because water can't clean this off. I use the diesel fuel, with the rag with the diesel fuel, and clean it up. And then I'm just gonna use my towel or my old work shirt, or whichever way you want to call it, and just clean up my area and make sure everything is intact. And I'm grabbing my vice grip, guys, and like I said, you don't, how you want to put this thing, you want to set this thing that it's not touching on here, and any of the holes that is gonna permanently set. So you want to get it at an angle where it sits maybe right in the middle of here, and you have to make sure you catch the back as well, and you can go tight on this vice grip as you want. So it stays into place and it locks, and you see now that it locks, guys. See all the little liquid glue that came out. And that's it. And you know, when it dry, it's gonna go down a little bit more. So what you want to do, you want to go back and you want to fill these holes one more time when you finish. All right, good job, guys. Good job. You see, once the know that the vice grip is on it, the liquid glue is gonna fall down. So what you want to do is just keep monitoring it until you get it's gonna fall down. It's gonna push it out. So you just keep monitoring it as you go along, so it's not running down this little part here. And that vice grip is gonna stay on there until tomorrow, or until I'm ready to take the jack from underneath here. But like I said, by just give this a couple of hours, guys, and this thing will dry. It's not gonna move once it's dry, but it's just that the recommended time frame for it is 24 to 48 hours. Just clean up around and see the area here. I don't know if there was a sticker on here or something, or somebody glued here or something. But this is definitely glue sitting on here. And like I said, I like to work on a clean surface. See, it start to drip, and that's why I told you you have to use a channel lock to hold it together, a vice grip to hold it together, but you want to set the vice grip into a place where the vice grip is not gonna permanently stuck on there, because even though it's liquid glue, is liquid metal glue, and metal to metal is gonna stick. And I should really have a vice grip on both sides instead of, because that's how I did it last time. I had a vice grip on both sides, and I have enough vice grip to do that. I had one vice grip here and one vice grip over this side, so I actually used four vice grip. So I had used 2 vice grip here and 2 on the driver's side, but to me that looked flush. And guys, already, I mean, we've been doing this for maybe what, like 10-15 minutes, and this thing is already firm, guys. This thing's not even moving. It's not even moving. That's how fast this thing drives, guys. And that's why when you're doing this type of work, you wear gloves, because it will shut your finger. It will close your fingers. If you're trying to use your hand to do the job, it will close your fingers. Trust me, it will close up your fingers. And that little bolt that I took out is a very important bolt. I don't want to lose it. I'm going to put it back into here, because that's my bolt for my line cooler. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do this side and get it over with. And when I do this side, I'm just gonna go down to the bottom and also do that side. Like I said, you don't have to force this down, guys, because this is liquid glue. As soon as you let it in, it's gonna start running down once you have enough space to go down. And you just want to catch the most important parts that needs to be catch. This part should have come out a little bit more, so the glue can go behind there. So I'm gonna just take this hose, this clamp, because this is in the way. I'm just gonna take this off, put it over here, so I have room to play. And maybe that's one of the reasons it wasn't moving, because it was a little bit too tight over here, and I just want to get back here just enough that I can put the glue back here. Just enough like that. Maybe just enough so we're getting that glue back here, guys. And like I said, I'm not getting the whole thing, because it's like a patch one side first, and that's the way you cut it out, and they make these 3 little columns with groove, so that your saw or whatever can go down in there. And I'm just gonna get back here and fill these 3 holes up. So the bottom doesn't move. And like I said, the same thing that I do on the passenger side, I'm gonna do on the driver's side part as well. Where I'm gonna get a vice grip, and I'm gonna come underneath here, and I'm gonna vice grip this thing. think I should be able to use this and get most of it up in here. Yep, that works. Works better than the screwdriver, guys. Works better than the screwdriver, I'll tell you that. Maybe here, guys, just be careful not to make it falls in your eye or your ear or your face or anything like that, because if it does, you're gonna have to go wash it out immediately, because once this thing dries on your skin, it's a hell to get it off. Go back and clean up this area before I start to set, because like I said, this thing set fast, guys. It set fast. So I'm gonna grab my rod and I'm gonna wipe off my hand with my diesel fuel, because diesel fuel will stop it from drying up on your fingers if it catches your finger or anything like that. And I'm just gonna use my diesel fuel and wipe out around the edges of this thing and just clean it up a bit. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the back part right here. And once I'm done that, I grab my towel and my work shirt, or no, my work cloth, because I run out of blue cloth that I bought from AutoZone. I get them 2-pack on sale, and I use them up so much that I now run out. I'm just gonna clean this area up, let it look a little bit decent and presentable. And remember what I showed you about the procedure over here. It doesn't have to knock that much because it's already tight, but you still have to follow the procedures, guys. You gotta knock it right back in. You gotta knock it in so it sits on. You don't want it bulging out. You want to do like that so it sits back on the frame itself. And if it comes out, if it comes out a little bit, don't worry about that. See, I got some on my hand right here and my finger, and if I don't wash this off, if I don't use the diesel fuel like right away to clean it off, it's gonna dry on it. And trust me, when it dries on it, guys, it's not that easy to get off. So I know that is. I'm just gonna let that sit there, and then when it dries, I'm still gonna go back with a little bit more liquid glue and catch other little areas that I didn't catch. But these are the main frame right now. These are the main areas that I really want to catch, because once I catch this area, it won't move. It will stay in position where it needs to stay. So that's it, guys. And now this tube is empty. I'm just gonna throw it away because I have one more of these, and it might look little, but it does a lot of it covers a lot of spots, because this was not even half, it was less than half, and see, it did the job. And it doesn't take a lot, because like I said, you're not filling up this whole thing, you're just catching the edges. You're catching the edges, one column, 2 column, 3 columns, then you catch this side and this side, and you do the same thing on the passenger side, and you catch underneath the bottom, and you're not locking the bottom, you're just using those holes that are drilled out and show you where the glue goes, because once you put the glues in there and there's enough space back there for the glue to run, it's gonna run down and sit where it needs to sit, and then it's gonna stop. And like I said, you don't want to permanently glue this thing on or weld it on, because eventually you're gonna have to probably take it off if you're doing another engine swap, which God, I hope I don't have to do one before I get another vehicle. And I don't see why I should be getting another vehicle right now, because if this engine is good with 150,000 miles and all the parts them that are changed out, you know, mechanical and electrical, they're brand new parts. So, you know, I practically rebuild this Dodge Journey myself, man. I practically rebuild this Dodge Journey all myself. All the interior, I upgraded the whole interior. I had 2009 Dodge Journey white and black seats. I upgraded them to the black seats. I took it out of a 2016 Dodge Journey, the front seats was the only one that I had to modify. I had to take out a couple of things and adjust it for the power buttons to work, but I did get it to work. On my the only thing that I didn't connect back on my driver's side seat was the heat, because the 2016s and the 2015s, they come with heating seats, and I have it on this driver. I have it on the driver and the passenger side one. I just haven't connect them. So yeah, this is done, and I know tomorrow when I get up, I don't have to worry about this because it's all dried. And by the time I finish putting the rest of parts back together, it's gonna be more than 3 days. It's gonna be more than 24 hours. So it will give it proper time to dry. And like I said, guys, it has 2 middle screws in the middle right here. It has 2 middle screws. That's really the most important one thing on here. The 2 middle screws is what holds up the cross member that goes from the front transmission mount / engine mount all the way to the back of the the cross member subframe, and it is a strong iron, and when it holds it, this thing can't rock back or forth. It can't rock back and forth. The only reason why they weld the 2 sides is and weld it even is to, when the radiator goes on, it sits perfectly on here and mounts back onto the top where it needs to. But this thing doesn't move because this already holds it firm from moving. Alright, so that's the only thing. And I'm gonna get my oil cooler out of the way, because I beat this oil cooler up so bad by swinging it left, right and center. And you know, even though they're cost effective, but they're still expensive, you know. And I mean, $86 and $96, I wouldn't consider that cheap. Guys, trust me, especially in these times, you know. And like I said, I'm working in grease and I'm working in sand, so I will never avoid from getting grease or sand on my vehicle.
Africon 50